Hello, my name is Adam Benet, and I am the Center of Excellence for Digital Innovation lead here in New Brunswick. And today I have some very special guests with me to talk a little about their experiences in CyberTitan, which is a fantastic cybersecurity competition that students in middle and high school can get involved in as an extracurricular activity. And it's teams of 2 to 6 competing in multiple rounds, and it's a really, really great introduction to the world of cybersecurity and learning a lot more about computer hardware, software, operating systems, and networking. So I will kick it over to the folks at school here, and we can just kind of go down the line and just say your name maybe and what grade you're in, and then we'll just have a couple questions.
I'm Graydon and I'm in grade 8.
I'm Cameron and I'm also in grade 8.
I'm Cameron R, different from him, and I'm also in grade 8.
I'm Carter and I'm also in grade 8.
All right, awesome. So the seniors of the middle school here join me today. So these four, Graydon, Cameron, and Carter, have been competing. Oh, what school are you at?
We're at Nashwaaksis Middle School.
Awesome, and that's located in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Just for those that don't know, in Anglophone West. And so, Graydon, Cameron, and Carter, thanks so much for joining us today in our little interview here. And so these three, right? You've been competing in CyberTitan for a while, right? And so just tell us a little bit about, well, maybe tell us about your coach, your teacher a little bit, and maybe how you started getting involved in CyberTitan back in grade 6.
All right. Well, I personally got into it after Graydon found out about it and asked us. Yeah, it was very random, but it happened, and I don't regret saying yes.
Awesome. And so now at your middle school, right? You're in a computer lab now. I presume everybody gets to do some sort of technology periods and courses throughout their time in middle school. And so obviously there's a teacher that you probably get to work with a lot, who's probably taught you a lot. So Mr. Gautreaux is somebody that's helping kind of facilitate this and has been a CyberTitan champion and coach for many years, and bringing opportunities to students like you, right? Because when we think about what I love about CyberTitan is that at our schools, we've had a lot of traditional sort of activities, clubs and activities, athletics and music and drama and those sorts of things, art. But for technology, sometimes we didn't have a thing for students to do. So this is why I really like CyberTitan as an extracurricular. And so just to give the viewers a quick idea, okay? So Graydon said, hey guys, like we should do the CyberTitan thing. You don't probably know anything about it. Maybe you know a little bit. Maybe you kind of like technology already. And I presume all four of you are people that kind of like technology in your day-to-day life anyway. Gaming, playing with computers, things like that. Okay. And so when it comes to the competition, what's something that okay, tell us first, what's the competition like? Like what happens on a competition day?
Well, usually it's a lot of preparing at the start. We usually have like an hour or two to prepare.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it's just a lot of work. One of us does one image and the others do other work, and we just slowly build off each other to get more points.
Perfect. So, and for the people that are watching that might not know about this, so the competition happens roughly once a month throughout the fall and into the early winter. And so students like the team that's sitting here would have a 6-hour window to work away at creating or solving as many problems inside a image, being Windows 10, 11, Linux, things like that. And the students would have an opportunity to try and harden the computer, right? To make the operating system more secure and safe and things like that, right? And when it came to that, so did you know much about any of those things before you started this competition?
I did not know. I thought it was more about coding than anything, but when I joined, yeah, it's not what I expected, but still fun.
Right. So pretty quickly you come to understand that computers are complex and there's a lot to them. And there's a whole lot of settings that a normal student or parent might not ever even look at, right? In terms of security and passwords and accounts and different apps and things like that. So throughout all of it, for maybe each of you could go down the line quick and just say, what are some of the biggest things or most interesting things you've learned through doing CyberTitan? Is there any couple of things that you think that are like the most important that you learned about through the competition?
I learned that there's not much people like that actually have a job as cybersecurity, and that it's like a lot of people could be one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cameron?
I kind of learned that, well, I learned a lot of vital things for anyone who would want to pursue a career in cybersecurity or defense and stuff like that.
Yep. Perfect. Cameron?
Yeah, I learned definitely to persevere through things, like
Oh,
finding an error and constantly trying to do things on it. Yeah, and also the variety of attacks you can have. There's plenty of vulnerabilities a single computer could have.
perfect. No, I really appreciate you saying, that perseverance, that is a skill, right? That is so important for all your subjects, right? Too, like it's a skill that you work on in the competition, but it applies to math and ELA and other things because sometimes learning it's not always easy, or you always don't get it on the first go round, and it takes time to learn and teach yourself, right? Because I think probably all of you have taught yourself or each other all kinds of stuff throughout the whole competition, right? So it tends to be somebody's, so Graydon's good at Windows stuff, and like everybody might have a different skill set, networking type stuff, and some of the forensics questions. So cool. And how about you, Carter? What is there anything that you really took away from the competition? What you loved the most or learned the most?
Well, it's pretty much what Camel said. It would be my answer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so as you all are finishing up, and congrats, I know you just recently placed, you've done really well in the current competition, and that's awesome and exciting. So all four of you will get next year to head off to high school. So do you plan to continue to be a team in high school or compete in CyberTitan if it's an option?
I probably will. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
I mean, I probably will as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so that I will too. I won't do it as competitively, but I might do it also.
Yeah, I probably won't do it as competitively because there's other things I'd like to do in high school.
Yeah, certainly. And it's hard to know where you're sitting right now. Once you get to high school, there's lots of different options available and clubs and committees and things like that. So that's awesome. So, okay, pretend we're talking to other students your age, grade 6, 7, 8, right? In the province, right? Just all over the province. Do you all think like that students should, this is something, if they like technology and they like problem solving, do you think that CyberTitan is something that they should try and get involved in?
I personally definitely think so, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aspects of technology that you can learn just from doing the competition.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I agree. If they've even like even if you don't have that much experience in computers, like I personally before middle school, I never used a computer before, but now I can do like a ton of different stuff and whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a great experience. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Awesome.
Yeah, I definitely think that if somebody has like a lot of problem solving skills, but they haven't really used technology before, that doesn't really matter because it's mostly problem solving and stuff like that, and that will help them a lot.
Yeah. Perfect. Great. Yeah, great. I know the other three covered quite a bit. Is there anything to add to that?
I think everyone should try to do it because it's a really great experience and you'll get friends out of it.
Yeah. Right. That to me is the other thing. There's a benefit, right? The four of you sitting there, you may or may not have been friends before or kind of friends, but this sort of thing where you get to form a team and actually compete together is a great opportunity, right? And I love also that a couple of you mentioned you never had really used computers. Like I'm sure you you touched a computer and maybe have interacted with it a little bit, but until you got to high school, because you're a generation too, right? That gaming consoles, tablets, and smartphones are more the things that you all and your peers probably use every day, and not so much a computer or a laptop. And part of the skills that we're trying to promote to students K through 12 is to learn how to actually use your computer a little bit better. And I think you all would say the skills you've learned, you're going to benefit from that as a student, probably throughout high school too, just your general knowledge. Would you agree with something like that? Like the learning how to use the software and the operating systems, those are skills that will make your life as a student maybe a little bit easier. Is that something you would agree with?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you're probably too the type of people that your friends or your family look at you now as the expert or like the IT person or the person that might be able to help solve a problem. I'm sure I know in my life, and I know Mr. Cotro probably there, we're that person that people always come to for help, right? I always say it's a blessing and a curse, right? On one hand, it's nice to know all this stuff, but on the other hand, everybody is always wanting your help. But again, as a student, I think going to high school and into university or college or whatever you do, having those critical thinking skills, right? I think Carter hit it bang on there. That if you like to solve problems and you're okay to put the time and research and read and watch YouTube videos, you can learn a lot, right? So I won't keep you too much longer. So moving on in life, right? I know you're young. You're all very young still, right? But do you envision or do you see yourself like in high school? I know things could change, but would you continue to take technology courses at high school? And do you think about a career or jobs? I know again that's a ways away, but do you think about having a life or a career in cybersecurity or coding or anything like that?
Personally, I might end up in a tech because I'm also exploring like arts and drama and things like that. So depending on where my life goes from there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Me, yeah, I think about it as well, and I really like cybersecurity now, so I think that's definitely something that I would be interested in.
Okay. Yeah.
Personally, I would continue to learn about cybersecurity through college, like through high school and college. I'd like to continue on this path.
Perfect.
Yeah. I definitely will take it in high school.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure what I'll do for college yet.
And that's not a bad thing, right? You have a lot of choices in your life left to make, but at least you had this experience for sure, right? Which is always a good thing to have, right? As you move on. And again, you're right. Life changes and high school will be different. I'm hopeful that by the time you're in high school and into grade 10, 11, and 12, that there's going to be even more opportunities if folks like you want to do more cybersecurity and more in-depth stuff, right? And to work with people that are professionals that work in places in Fredericton that are at cybersecurity companies and to mentor students like you, right? So I'll leave it there. I do really, really thank you, the four of you, for joining us today and having a chat about CyberTitan and being champions of the competition and being champions and so well in the competition. And it's something to be really proud of. And other than that, we could say our goodbyes. And yeah, we hope you have a good rest of grade 8. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.